Good evening, students. Welcome back to our BSc second year physics class. In today's lecture, we are going to solve some numerical problems related with the special theory of relativity. In this chapter, we covered a number of points, that is Galilean transformation, Lorentz transformation, velocity addition, time dilation, length contraction, mass variation, energy mass relations. Right. Now, in today's lecture, we are going to solve some numericals related with these concepts. Right? We are going to end this first chapter. From tomorrow onwards, we can start with a new chapter that we will discuss in next lecture. So let us start with first numerical. Before that, if we see this first slide, it consists all mathematical formulas which have been studied in this chapter, that is Galilean relativity, time dilation concept, length contraction, velocity addition, a Lorentz velocity transformation, Vx prime, Vy prime, Vz prime, delta t prime, relativistic momentum, p prime, p bar is equal to mv bar by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. Relativistic kinetic energy k is equal to mc square by square root of 1 minus v square by c square minus mc square. Or rest mass energy E naught is equal to mc square. Relativistic total energy E is equal to k plus E naught, which is equal to mc square by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. Momentum energy relation is equal to square root of p c square plus mc square whole bracket square. Our extreme relativistic approximation is nearly equal to p into c. These are the problems on this. These are the new formulas. By using all these numeric formulas, we are going to solve the numerical problems. We will solve one by one. In first numerical problems, they ask, there are two rockets are leaving their space station along perpendicular path. Means both rockets moving or leaving their space perpendicular to each others. As measured by an observer on the space station, rocket 1 moves with velocity 0.6 c and rocket 2 moves with velocity 0.8 c. Both measured relative to the space station. Both are moving with respect to the space station. What is the velocity of rocket 2, which is moving perpendicular to the rocket 1, observed by rocket 1? That we have to find out. For that, we have to use a velocity addition formula by using Lorentz transformation equation, as we discussed in previous slide. Observer O is the space station. Observer O prime is rocket 1 moving with 0.6 c, and each observer rocket 2, means the observer which is in space station as well as observer which is in rocket 1, both are observing a rocket 2 which is moving with velocity 0.8 c according to O in a direction perpendicular to the rocket 1. Therefore, O observes rocket 2 to have velocity component Vx is 0. and Vy is equal to 0.8 c, because it is moving perpendicular to the rocket 1, that's why its x component is 0, only y component is there. But in case of rocket 1, only x component is there, y component is 0. Therefore, Vx prime and Vi prime using Lorentz velocity transformation, Vx prime is equal to Vx minus u divided by 1 minus Vx u by c square, which is equal to Vx is 0, x component is 0, 0 minus 0.6 c divided by 1 minus 0 into 0.6 c by c square, which is equal to minus 0.6 c. Similarly, Vy prime is equal to Vy into square root of 1 minus u square by c square divided by 1 minus Vxu by c square. If we substitute the value of Vy is equal to 0.8 c into square root of 1 minus u is equal to 0.6 c square divided by c square divided by 1 minus 0 into 0.6 by c square, which is equal to Vy prime is equal to 0.64 c. Thus, according to O prime, the situation look like as shown in figure B. The speed of rocket 2 according to O prime, means which is with respect to the rocket 2, is square root of, by using a Pythagoras theorem, 0.6 c square plus 0.64 square. If we simplify, you will get 0.88 times velocity of light, which is less than c. According to the Galen transformation, Vy prime would be identical with Vy, because there is no variation along y and z, that's why y is equal to y prime, z is equal to z prime, Vy prime is equal to Vy, and Vz prime is equal to Vz, and thus the speed would be 0.6 c square plus 0.8 c square, which is equal to c. Once again, the Lorentz transformation prevents relativity speed from reaching or exceeding the speed of light. That's why Lorentz transformation using postulates of special theory of relativity, on that basis Lorentz derive some equations, and that equations are valid for a special theory of relativity. Next, in second problem, what is the momentum of a proton moving at a speed of v is equal to 0.86 times c? Momentum is equal to mv by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. We know the velocity or the speed of a proton. After that, we know the mass of proton and velocity. Therefore, 1.67 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kg into 0.86 times c, 0.86 into 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second divided by square root of 1 minus 0.86 square. If we simplify, you will get 8.44 into 10 to the power of minus 19 kilogram meter per second. Or the unit of kg meter per second are generally not convenient in solving problem of this type, because it is a relativistic cases. Instead, we manipulate equation 2.32. equation. (2.3 torr). In that case, we have to use Pc is equal to mvc by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. Just multiply c on a both side for this equation. If you simplify, you will get 1580 mega electron volt. Just simply by multiplying c, we are going to convert into electron volt. It gives 1580 mega electron volt divided by the velocity of light. This much is the momentum associated with the proton, which is moving with a speed 0.86 times the velocity of light. Next, what are the kinetic energy and relativistic total energy of a proton having rest mass energy E naught is equal to 938 mega electron volt, moving with a speed v is equal to 0.86 c. The total energy can be defined as E is equal to square root of Pc square plus mc square whole bracket square. Mc square whole bracket square is rest mass energy, and kinetic it's Pc, as we discussed in last problem, Pc for a proton equal to 1580 mega electron volt. If we substitute that value, Pc is equal to 1580 mega electron volt whole bracket square plus 938 mega electron volt whole bracket square. If we simplify, you will get E is equal to 1837 mega electron volt. 1837 mega electron volt. But my aim is to find out the kinetic energy, and kinetic energy is nothing but the total energy minus rest mass energy. 1837 mega electron volt minus 938 mega electron volt, it gives 899 mega electron volt. This much kinetic energy is associated with a proton. Now, next, find the velocity and momentum of electron with rest mass energy E naught is equal to 0.511 mega electron volt and kinetic energy is 10 mega electron volt. By using above formula, you can find out its momentum, because E is equal to k plus E naught. If once you know the total energy is equal to square root of Pc square plus m naught c square whole bracket square. From that we can find out Pc square is equal to, or Pc is equal to square root of E square minus rest mass energy square. Once you substitute the value of E, m and c for electron, it gives 10.5 mega electron volt divided by velocity of light. It gives the momentum associated with that electron. Similarly, we have to find out the velocity v. That can be found out. V by c is equal to square root of 1 minus mc square by E whole bracket square. We know the rest mass energy, we know the total energy. If we substitute, you will get 0.99 times the velocity of light, or v is equal to 0.9988 times the velocity of light. Means all the numerical problems are related with each other. Once you understand some formulas related with the special theory of relativity, then you can solve all these numerical problems very effectively. Next, at a distance equal to the radius of the earth orbits, which is equal to 1.5 to 10 to the power of 11 meter, the sun's radiations has an intensity of about 1.4 into 10 to the power of 3 watt per meter square. Find the rate at which the mass of the sun is decreasing. In this case, if we assume that sun's radiations is distributed uniformly over the surface area 4 pi r square of a sphere of radius 1.5 into 10 to the power of 11 meter, then the total radiative power emitted by the sun is 4 pi r square. R is 1.5 to 10 to the power of 11 whole bracket square into the power radiation, or the intensity. Sun's radiations has an intensity 1.4 into 10 to the power of 3 watt per meter square. If we multiply this, then it gives 4 into 10 to the power of 26 watt, or 4 into 10 to the power of 26 joule per second. This much radiative power emitted by the sun. Now, by conversion of energy, we know that the energy lost by the sun throughout the radiation must be accounted for the corresponding loss in its rest energy. The change in mass delta m corresponding to the change in rest energy. Therefore, change in mass is equal to change in rest energy divided by c square. Therefore, change in rest energy is 4 into 10 to the power of 26 by c square, which is equal to 9 into 10 to the power of 16, which is equal to 4.4 into 10 to the power of 9 kg. The sun loses its mass at a rate about 4 billion kilogram per second. This much amount of mass used to radiate 4 into 10 to the power of 26 joule energy per second. The sun with the present mass which is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of 30 kg would shine only for another 10 to the 13 years. Means after that it going to die, or it converted into the white dwarf condition. Outer layer start expanding, the explosion will be occur, and the center core of the sun remains, and that center of suns is acts as a white dwarf. Okay, these are the different problems. Such kind of problems can be solved with the help of relativistic special theory of relativity. If you have any doubt with any problem, you can ask me anytime. If you want to solve this kind of numericals, for that you have to know all the formulas which have been derived in this chapter. Okay, then from tomorrow onwards we will start a next chapter that we will discuss in next lecture. Thank you.